Today, I am talking about a crisis, and it came to me from somebody who sent me a book that they were going to read, and I'm going to share with you what I wish. I'm going to turn my oops, turn oops, going to turn my off. Okay, I'm going to share with you what I wish somebody would have shared with me. In fact, it would save somebody from reading a book on this topic. But, I know people like to read, but I like shortcuts. And so if you like shortcuts too, this video is for you because the crisis is about not being enough. And really, what's going on the undertone of that is this archetype of victim victimizer programming. So you can look that up, and Carolyn Meese does a really good piece about archetypes if you're interested in that. There's a lot of data out there on that you can Google, but essentially, the not enough is a bit, 100% bit of the victim mentality. And of course, none of you think that you're being a victim because a lot of this, I would say most of you aren't a victim, but it's in your thinking, which is why I address thinking in the peace program. However, you could address this yourself by connecting with your heart. You see, when you are fully connected with your heart, and I wish somebody would have told me this would save you so much time, so much time. If you can be fully connected with your heart all of the time, then that way of thinking will completely dismantle on its own. You don't have to go to years and years of therapy to figure out why I'm not enough and all of this processing intellectually. No, you don't have to do that. You really you can, and I'm certain that a lot of therapists will appreciate you being a repeating customer that never addresses this issue fully, totally, and completely, because most therapists, not all, the therapists that come to me on a regular, they know that they connect their clients to their heart. If you are working with a therapist that's not working with you in connection with your heart, get a new therapist or stop doing therapy because it's going to drain you and you're going to process things constantly within your mind and it's going to go in a looping pattern. Forget that. Not being enough is a spiritual crisis. It is nothing more than that. It's not an emotional crisis. It's not a mental crisis. It's absolutely a spiritual crisis of pure disconnection. When you fully connect with your heart space, oh my God, your life's going to change so much in the best possible ways. And here's the kicker, nobody can do it for you. Absolutely nobody. This is like a self journey. Now, I can guide you to connect with your heart. Sure, you could go do lots of meditations that guide you, but it's a practice of connecting with your heart on a regular basis. You can't think I'm in my heart. That does not work. That is ego. The ego will fool you into thinking that you're in your heart space. I have people who are quote unquote spiritual people that come, they say, I'm always in my heart. They're not always in their heart. Anybody who is so certain that they're always in their heart is lying because we're humans and we are conditioned to go into our mind. So unless they've completely eradicated and dismantled all the conditioning that happens to us as humans, and it starts from when we're little babies and we go to preschool, then we go to little elementary school, and then we go to primary school. All of that is conditioning, and it takes you further away from your heart. Now, the more practice you become in being in your heart space, taking breaths, conscious breaths, connecting with your heart, putting your hand on your heart, doing any kind of personal meditations that you do on your own. I know there's tons of apps out there. I am not a fan personally. I have never gone to apps for my help of meditation or getting quiet or being at peace. I don't think it's a wrong thing. I just don't think that it strengthens your field like you can do on your own with just connecting to your breath and your heart space. Doing that for 5 minutes a day, every day on a regular basis till you build it up will life change you within a matter of weeks. I don't know an app that's doing that. Um, that doesn't mean that doesn't exist. I'm just not aware of it. So, not being enough, you can just save all your time and start connecting with your heart. And the more connected you become and attuned to your heart and listening to your heart and following your heart, the more enough you will be. You will completely eradicate and dismantle any ideas and illusions that you are something other than a gift. And isn't that the truth? Right? Like we are here to really shine our light on this earth. And if we're disconnected, that's okay. That's an awareness. Hey, I'm disconnected. I don't feel enough. I have this victimizer thing going on. I dance in my ego. Those are awarenesses. Okay. Then you just bring yourself back and begin to practice connecting with your heart. So cheers to being enough, for realizing you are enough, for connecting to your heart. Oh gosh, if you want to be in sync, your connection to your heart is totally, fully, completely the way to go. So, cheers to being in sync. Cheers to being in peace and being in connection to your heart and getting out of the crisis of not being enough.